Welcome back to the Elder Scrolls Total War, where we are poised to start launching assaults on all fronts now. Up in the north of Vardenfell, next to Nessus, we have a boat controlled by Admiral Vemin. I'm pretty sure we have several Vemins at this point, but it's carrying an army led by Garrus, and he's about to head up to Solsteam to see what he can do on that front. Down in the south, we have Dagoth here in Mournhold, and his kind of right and left hands at the moment, Milan over here with the big army just reinforced from the force that just finished kicking the Imperials out of Sedanine. They've headed down and reinforced him. Milan is going to head up, and he's going to lead the war against the Hlalu. Dagoth and down here on his left hand, Muthas, they're just going to stay here for a while because they need to develop these places into military bases before they can further launch a crusade. Now, Dagoth he's going to, later on, kind of, I think, follow up Milan on this end, and he might end up kind of cutting through this mountain range to fight against the Imperials, whereas Muthas will be the one leading the war in the south to finish off the Dres. Uh-oh. A thing happened. The Oblivion Crisis seems to have struck. So I heard rumors about this, and I kind of forgot about it in like my year of absence of the game. I don't know exactly what this is going to do, but it's probably a very, very bad thing. So, war declared, presumably between, like, everybody and the Hordes of Oblivion. And in slightly better news, our faction is now the most advanced. I don't actually know what this means. Oh. What the heck? The Tamriel Empire has been destroyed, apparently. Did it just get completely wiped out by the Hordes of Oblivion, like the second that they spawned in or something like that? What is going on? I'm so confused. I don't see any, like, Oblivion gates or armies in my land. Yeah, I don't see anyone anywhere. And most definitely, if I right-click over the Imperial capital, it's just wilderness, owned by nobody. Is this a bug? The entire Imperial nation just went rebel. Well, anyways, I guess there's not really anything I can do about that for the time being, since I don't see any kind of active effect on the world. So the fleet down here is going to head up back to the docks of Ebonheart Castle after dropping off their priests. And I guess I just kind of carry out the plan that I was going to carry out anyways, until I actually see some kind of change from the Oblivion Crisis. You know, Mendris, our diplomat down here, is in Argonian territory, but I don't actually know where the cities are, so he's just going to have to wander aimlessly for a little while. And he's actually found another wilderness here. So, Argonian territory ends there? That's very strange. Alright, well, time to start the expansion. I'm going to send this northern fleet down here, drop some priests off on the shore of, this is Blacklight, I'm pretty sure. It's still Blacklight. There we go, and now that ship heads north towards Solsteam, and the next turn it should land, and we'll see just what's waiting for us in that city, although this was Imperial. And now it's not going to be Imperial anymore, since the Imperials were just destroyed randomly. Okay, time for Galvoth the Killer to take his 33% chance. This could go badly, but it could also go very, very well. We could take out one of... you literally can't get a better leader than that. He misses the target, but he survives. Okay, I can deal with this. Unfortunately, that means that their leader's security is probably going to increase next turn, and I won't be able to get another shot at that. One thing I'm going to do, while I'm still thinking about it, is move a couple of units, especially one ballista unit, that's very important, over to Muthas' force in Tal'Deg Fortress, because he's going to be the one going down to take Muthnar fairly soon. Captain Kuminumis over here has not retreated, so it looks like Milan is going to get a little bit of a punching bag before he goes over and starts beating up on the Hlalu. Why not? And he actually retreated. That's the first time anybody's retreated from me in a while. It's too bad. He's just a little bit too late. He should have retreated last turn. They still got large amounts of what they had last time. Nothing too special. Nothing we can't take out. Well, this is quite the disadvantageous position we've got ourselves. They just get to deploy up on a mountain. Well, I guess that positioning is about as good as I could hope for. And they did indeed decide to deploy up on the hill. We'll have to wait and see how badly that affects our ranged units. Well, they seem to be hitting all right, and they seem to be doing plenty of damage, so I don't think there's anything to worry about. So I've just kind of decided to surround them here. Let's just run them up the hill. Run all these guys up the hill. And it looks like they're planning to go and skirmish my force that's coming to surround on that side. So I'm just gonna kind of run them away. I don't actually need them. Are they just skirmishers, or are they... Those are actually spear militia. So that's not gonna accomplish anything for them. I would just kind of like to run through. Maybe I'll just attack them with one unit and then circle around with the other two to get the high ground. They are moving more units down, though. So these guys move up. Just attack straight on. I don't care. And I don't really want them getting any more damage than they are, but I don't really have a choice. I'll move my heavy armored guys up first so that they can take the arrows. And everyone can just kind of charge. Gonna move them up to the high ground around the side if possible. And we'll see how this goes. Alright, we are now in conflict. Those guys can just go to the front, and these guys go around the side. Actually, for some reason they can't get through there. There's just a little bit of a space. Squeeze them around the side here. Everything seems a little bit stretched when there's a big incline. It almost feels like the units are stretched. How are these archers firing on us? They're not actually firing on us, they're firing on someone else. Let's see if I can actually like launch a little bit of a sneak attack by not directly attacking them. That'll be interesting. In the meantime, get some actual charges off. Move them around the side. Alright, now do not directly attack them, just kind of move through them. Okay, there we go, and now we get the surprise attack. Because I think as soon as you actually order them to attack, the archers will try to run away, but if you don't order the attack, they don't actually know they're being attacked, and therefore they can't run. It's an interesting system. And they've just kind of started mass running already. I didn't even need to go for the surround. Unfortunately, they probably are going to run away, because my guys are heavily armored, gonna have a hard time chasing them. And down goes the captain. Not that that matters. I actually moved these guys in front, and now I have these guys fleeing back down the hill. That's interesting. So, that worked. We actually lost 14 men, that's too bad. But I guess they did have just a massive advantage with that mountainside position. Couple of experienced chevrons, nice. And of course, as usual, they get executed. And finally, they run away. It's about time. Alright, now is the time. He just moves straight on to Narcissus. Relations worsen. Well, apparently we now have terrible relations with House Drez. And now they're poor. They're a little bit confused. Unfortunately, I don't have ballistas, so I do just need to kind of build a bunch of siege equipment here. Maybe 2 rams, a tower, and some ladders. There we go. That seems to be working. Alright, now Narcissus under siege. And we're going to lay assault next turn. Over here, the army of Muthus is not yet fully formed. So I can't move out yet. But, even if I could move out, I'm not sure that I want to quite yet. Because these, before I, send out full force army down here to take on the Drez, I want these 2 fortresses turned into places where I can actually replenish my troops. And right now the best I can do is in the Taldag Fortress with just some Corpus Stalkers and 1 unit of Corpus Stalkers at that, which is not good enough. And I think I am going to be forcing these guys to keep a garrison in their cities too. So there should not be a massive risk of like huge armies assaulting us because of our religion. We have this place 73% this turn. It's going to be massively our religion next turn. And then I'm going to send some forces further in to do the same thing to these places. So that's actually it for this turn. I'm interested to see whether Oblivion armies are going to start popping up next turn when I click this little button down here, end turn. Okay, what's this now? Daedra besiege Ald'ruhn. Year 433 of the Third Era, inhabitants of Tamriel are still not able to recover after first great strike from the Daedric Prince of Destruction. Oblivion gates opened in course of only a few hours across the land, bringing destruction and death. Not long after devastation of great city of Kavach in southern Calovia, Mehrunes Dagon attempted another attack, this time at ancestral capital of Great House Redoran, city of Ald'ruhn in Morrowind. Noble and mighty Dunmer warriors were not ready to face demonic hordes which had no end. Desperate priests used almost forgotten magic arts and raised the Scar, a skeleton of Titan crab that stood in the center of the city. Even that impossible feat was not enough to save proud Redoran warriors. The Redoran are extinct, okay? This is obsolete. This is my city now. The defenders fought valiantly, and with courage none short of legendary, but did not prevail. Ald'ruhn fell. Okay, so... Okay, whoa. This is a little bit distracting. Wait okay, Tal'Deg Forces Thieves Guild. Yeah, sure, why not? That's not bad. Right here seems like a great place for spies. Okay, here we go. It actually hasn't fallen yet. It's just under siege. It's definitely going to fall. I don't know how strong these forces are. 1320. Ooh, they're quite strong. Only 1 hit point, though, so they're not unstoppable. How about this guy and his bodyguard? I don't have stats on them. Dremora Kinreef. When he attacks us, we'll get all that info. And there's war... It took us one more turn to have war declared on us by the House of... or the Hordes of Oblivion than everyone else did. I'm not sure why that is. We kind of have our own issues with Oblivion Realms. So I guess it's time to just start recruiting like mad in the places where we can recruit. And I think I'm going to send our forces up to Caldera. That's where we're going to gather to try and face these guys. Though honestly, they have 2 full stack armies. It might be too late. I might actually evacuate Caldera and kind of gather everyone maybe in Balmora. That should buy us a little bit more time. And at that point, once everyone gathers there, we might sacrifice these 2 cities really quickly and then re-attack to take them out. I wish I hadn't just sent both of my assassins on the boat, though. It would have been interesting to see how big of a chance they had to assassinate the Daedric generals. It looks like we're just kind of considering the Hordes of Oblivion as the same thing as a Mongol horde here. Now, on the bright side, what this means is that our Ascended Sleepers finally get to see some action. It'll be interesting to see how they perform against an actual army. I'm a little bit hesitant to take, like, all the units out of here, in case there's just some other random gate that pops up in here, which would be really bad for us. But I guess I can always just retrain some units in Mount Doom, and that'll be fine. I do feel like we're close enough to just get to Caldera, so I am actually just going to redirect all the units there. I guess I'm pretty sure I have this situation under control with all these forces I have gathering in Caldera, but I guess I really should. I'd really like to expand up into here. You know what? Screw it. I'm not even going to turn this army around. I'm just going to keep them on course. They can go up and start the invasion of Solsteam. And heck, if worst comes to worst, and these guys are completely unstoppable, then I'll be able to hang out up here and plot my eventual retaking of Vardenfell yet again. Alright, so he's landed on Solsteam, and yes, indeed, Fort Frostmouth is now just rebel. So we're going to start the siege of there. Now, we've dropped most of them off there, but I'm actually going to take 1 assassin now back onto the mainland. There we go, Dagoth Vaynor, and he can go down here and let's see what kind of a chance he has at these guys. 21% chance at him. That's not great. 21 for either of them. That's unfortunate. Oh, hey, there's some more forces of Oblivion that popped up over here by Proloris that they just didn't talk about. So I actually have to scan my territory and look for myself to see where they are. Well then, isn't this interesting? Does Dagoth himself turn around to deal with that situation? I think he might, and leave Muthus on the front lines here. He might not actually be able to, because these guys are not happy without him there. Yeah, it's not even close. Dagoth needs to stay there or the place is going to rebel. On the other hand, just look how much his influence has on a place. It's like anywhere he stays, it's golden. Which means, I think, that it's actually Muthus, yeah, who's going to need to lead this force. That's kind of a small force, but it is an elite force. I would like to give him a little bit more. These guys are threatening from the south, though, which kind of puts us in a little bit of a pinch. I think the Dres are less of a threat, though. If they were to run up here and somehow manage to take back Tal'Deg Fortress, maybe they send their full stack or something, I think I'm okay with that. But my first priority needs to be these guys, so I'm going to send Muthus with this force up north and hope that he can handle that. It's a good thing we built roads, isn't it? I'm actually not 100% sure that was us that built those roads. It might have been. It might have been the, I don't know, whoever was there before. I want to say it was the Tribunal Temple? I'm not sure if this was Tribunal territory or Telvanni territory. Now the question is, will the Daedra actually attack House Dres, or are they just sending, like, all 4 full stacks of their forces in Morrowind at me? Alright, they've decided to attack Vakar. Alright, we finally get a close look at these guys. What's their bodyguard look like? Only 1 hit point. Not bad. They only have 1 hit point. These are Dremora Kinreeves. By excellent morale, I'm assuming it means that these guys have unbreakable morale, just like us. The Dremora society is a class-based clan system that upholds values of oaths, pride, honor, and loyalty, both to the clan and to the Lord Mehrunes Dagon, whom they venerate as a god. They are the most powerful and intelligent of the Lesser Daedra, I'm assuming it means the Kine Reeve, to the point of governing over other Daedra on behalf of their lord. They are ferocious combatants, not just because of their abilities as sorcerers and warriors, but also because, as creatures of Oblivion, they have no need to fear death. Okay, yeah, so they just have infinite morale. They craft and wear their own armor, known as Daedric armor, reputed to be the strongest available in Tamriel, and even the spellcrafters' robes provide heavy armor protection. Dremora Kine Reeves are, although above their warrior ranks, the lowest officer rank held by the Dremora. They fulfill the role of a police or administrative officer in the forces of Mehrunes Dagon, so they're kind of like the military police. They are 1921 attack defense, so they are quite strong, but they have no shield, so they are vulnerable to ranged attacks. Okay, this is just the same thing on their description for the Dremora Kinval, so it's not saying that the, whatever these guys, the bodyguards once were the, let's see, the Kine Reeve, it's not saying that they are like the uppermost of the Daedra, it's saying that Dremora are the uppermost of the Daedra. Now, Kinevals are the most powerful of the rank and file that compose Mehrunes Dagon's armies. They are considered the equivalent of warrior knights, soldiers that distinguish themselves in combat and display the potential to be future leaders of their clans. And then we have a two-handed sword version. Kinval Heavy Swordsman is an alternative version of the Kinval, and they have no shield, lower defense, and higher attack. And this is a little bit interesting. I'm not really sure what the differences are between the Heavy Swordsman and Axemen. The Axemen cost more up front, are less expensive on the upkeep side, and have good morale instead of great morale. So can they break? And they actually have scamps. This is adorable. Their weapon type is a firearm, literally. Now, one of the lesser sentient Daedra of Oblivion, scamps often enter into the mortal world to cause mischief and to carry out errands for their princes. They are weak, rather unintelligent, and cowardly, and are easily defeated except in large numbers. They know small spells of destruction, and also because of their inherent weakness, they are extremely ineffective. And also because of its inherent weakness? Oh, because of the scamp's inherent weakness, they are extremely ineffective in melee and prefer to attack from afar. And we have the Dremora Kaitif Heavy Swordsman, who, despite being, I believe, not as good in any way as the Kinval Heavy Swordsman. Oh, they cost slightly less, but they cost, for some reason, the upkeep is so weird on the shield guys versus the Heavy Swordsman. It's very confusing. So Dremora use their own language, and in it Kaitif means either a captive or a prisoner, or a villain, coward, or a wretch. Dremora Kaitifs are a low-level rank of Dremora utilized by Mehrunes Dagon as berserkers and shock troopers, surpassing only the lowly churls. So I guess these Kaitif are kind of like the conscripts, and these Kinevals are the professional soldiers. Now, this force does not actually have any churls, and instead it has Mythic Dawn archers. That's cool. These are the cultists from Oblivion. Now, they are effective against armor, that's worth noting. We have been preparing for the coming of Lord Dagon for many months now. The time of preparation is almost over. The time of cleansing is nigh. The Mythic Dawn, worshippers of Dagon, work to bring about the coming of Dagon by assassinating the Emperor and his 3 known heirs. The fanatical cult, led by Mankar Cameron, is focused on the eternal dawn, on which Dagon will come to cleanse the world of all non-followers and will stop at nothing to achieve it. Well, that sounds like a world in which there's no room for Lord Dagoth, and so therefore that sounds like a world that will never come to be. Unfortunately, it looks like Irvin the Honest is gonna meet his maker here, but he is not dying in vain. He's actually got some damaged troops as well. Not too damaged, mind you. He's not going to die in vain. He's going to be our lead scout here, and he's going to send a few scouts just out the back gate of Alrune to send the information to Caldera as to what they're going to be facing ahead of time. So he knows his fate, and he's meeting it with honor. So I guess what's going to happen here is I'm just going to deploy in a position where I can maximize the amount of towers that are going to be active at once. I'm going to do as much damage to them as possible with those towers. Do they not actually have any siege equipment? What is going on here? How do they plan to break the gates? I do not see any siege equipment in their crew. So that'll be another mystery for our lord here to solve. I guess their siege was scripted or something? They came without any siege equipment. They could not break down the gate, and they failed. So we won the battle. This was unexpected. Indeed, they just kind of walked up to the gate to intimidate us for a little bit and then turned around to leave. I wonder if this is what would have happened in Lord of the Rings in Helm's Deep if that guy hadn't fired the arrow. Now we have another siege over here in Proloris. I'm not sure if this place has any walls. They have, I believe, the exact same army. It's a little bit different. They have 4 Mythic Dawn archers now instead. Still no churls, though. Oh, wow, they have trebuchets. That is not good. And they're manned by ghosts. I mean, I guess I'll just... It doesn't even matter what I do here. Let's just start with these guys on the walls and see if they make a mistake. I assume they're just going to sit back there, though, while their trebuchets take care of everything. Actually, I don't even really see the point in just sitting out here. So I'm just going to move all these Dreamers outside the walls and just have them fight there. Or I guess they have a superior numbers, so maybe I'll just hang out just inside the walls here and kind of try and surround them there just to get as much damage as I can as possible before they overrun everyone. Where's my 3rd unit? Oh, they're over there. What are they doing over there? Okay, they broke the gates. It looks like they're just gonna wait for the trebuchets to do as much damage as possible before they actually attack, though. Probably going to try and take out the towers. It's probably a smart decision. They don't really need to, but whatever. Oh, they're trying to break more holes in the wall, I see. And they magically changed the color of my wall and made the game lag like crazy. Well, they've broken 3 holes, but looks like they're just going to keep going for this wall now. I wonder if there's any way I could somehow take out these trebuchets. Like, maybe if they all rushed in here, I could move 1 unit around to the side. Let's see what happens if I just send these guys out as a little bit of a decoy. Will they react? See if I can somehow skirt their units around and get some damage on these trebuchets. That would be wonderful. Well, they're not reacting yet. I'm just going to kind of like give their army a wide berth and move around to the back. And then maybe when they're done messing with our walls here, and they all charge in and engage these 2 units, maybe these guys, being around the back, will be able to attack the trebuchets that they leave alone. And if we could wipe those things out, I think we'd be in pretty good shape moving forward. I feel like they're going to have a hard time building more. Are they actually hitting us? Wow, those Mythic Dawn archers have range. Holy... Ooh, man, they're killing us all the way from over there. They are moving in. Let's see what happens here. Alright, time to move around behind. I need as much time as possible here. And let's go ahead and fast forward. Because what happens when in here is not really any concern of ours at this point. Unless, let's take a close look. Alright, we got... Ooh, they are leaving they're leaving their trebuchets wide open. Okay, no, don't attack the trebuchets, because then their AI will just automatically know what we're doing. They're sending their Mythic Dawn archers in first. Move those guys over here. Jamora Kaitif Halberdiers. Sure, I guess these guys can come and try and put a stopper to them in this place if at all possible. And the Kaitifs, they just moved in front. Darn it. Okay, now you guys move immediately. The Kaitif are coming. Oh no. The Kaitif are onto us. The trebuchet have turned around and are now firing at them. But unfortunately, these guys are gonna catch us here. It doesn't matter. Just ignore them and do as much damage to the trebuchets as you can. Yes, they're gonna catch you. Doesn't matter. Keep moving. Ignore them. Ignore, please. Please ignore. Ignore. There we go. Well done. And just attack these guys. Beautiful. So I'm going to get at least a little bit of damage off. Let's see how my Dreamers compare to these guys. Fortunately, the Dreamers have infinite morale, so even though they're being flanked by these guys and they're just going to lose, they're easily going to lose this fight, they're not going to run away. So they're going to keep doing damage to these dudes until such time as they die or they run away. Ooh. Or, can I actually do damage to this thing? Is that an option? I clicked it to tell them to start attacking it, but I'm not seeing any damage being done, unfortunately. Nah, I just gotta take out the crew. No, we definitely did some damage. There's only 7 of them left. Oh, they're dying very quickly. If I can completely eliminate this crew, that will be incredible. I don't know whether they'll get it back in post-battle, medic procedures or whatever, but either way, we had 3 units of Dreamers, and we managed to snipe one of their artillery units. And it looks like that's going to be in. We only have a few left. One of their guys got shot in the face by their own archers, but I think we only have 2 men left, and it's about to be less. Oh, they're still fighting though. they're gonna take out these artillery guys. If it's the last thing they do, is one of their units already just gone? Oh, there's I think a couple of them survived. There's 2 of them just hiding behind this rock that we couldn't take out. Darn it. Well, anyways, and the last 2 fall, and that's gonna be it. Still, that's about as good a result as I could have hoped for, I suppose. All right, rip Captain Dagoth Level, whoever you were. You were just kind of some kind of rank-and-file dreamer, but you served your purpose well. I don't think they even occupied the town. They just kind of burned it. Not sure what they're doing. They're moving around. Very slowly. I do have sped-up motions on. And they're hiding behind the smoke. A smoke screen. Ooh, they're way ahead of their time. And now I've just kind of been standing here staring at the screen for about 10 minutes. Hey, it worked. The game actually started again. I thought it crashed for a second there. For like 10-15 minutes there. Well, this is interesting. The army has moved away from Aldrune and just kind of backed into a corner here. I guess Ammo Zambel wanted to stay close to Vakar there. Oblivion finally declares war on the kingdom of Valenwood. Caldera, just completely unconcerned with the situation in their backyard, is now going to start construction on roads. The Dreads have indeed decided to besiege the Teldag fortress. But I think we can hold out against this. They're going to have a hard time. They do have a decent force, but some of them aren't so great. Light infantry, militiamen, and I do have 2 veteran units of Ashbon heavy swordsmen, 1 Ashbon unit, and some veteran unit of Ashlanders. So I don't think that makes a difference to my plans, at least not yet. I'm going to continue sending Nuthes up there to challenge these Dremora. So, does the situation change now that they're just moving wherever they want to go? I don't know. I don't know what's going on anymore. I guess I just kind of form up in the field at this point. Right there. Yeah, I guess that'll work. They might go for one of these 2 towns, Hlawad or Balmora. But if they do, I hope they can't just attack in one turn. The one unit did not have any siege equipment that we saw there. So as far as I know, as long as the other unit does not have siege equipment, we're fine. And if they do, they're going to be stuck there one turn building siege equipment, and I can move my armor behind them and attack. So yes, we are coming under heavy assault from just teleporty alien demons from another dimension, but on the bright side, we have 2 sieges ready to go to expand our territory. First in the south, Narcissus. And this place actually houses Hlalu's current Grandmaster. Interesting. Which makes me think, I think I might understand why, because of the game mechanics, the Tamriel Empire just disappears as soon as the Oblivion Crisis starts. It might be because of the scripted nature of the Oblivion Crisis. In order for it to occur, the Mystic Dawn has to assassinate the Empire and all of his heirs. Which means every heir of the Tamriel faction must die. I don't know whether there's a script that when the Oblivion Crisis concludes, they're going to get a new faction leader, or what's going on with that, but as it stands, that would explain why, if all the leaders die, the faction just goes rebel. Now, this guy, Grandmaster Enar the Honest, is actually pretty decent, so this will be nice to take him out. He does have a professional force with him, but it's a small one. Hlalu men-at-arms, a couple militiamen, Hlalu spearmen. Oh, how unfortunate. How unfortunate they have one of these fortresses, which actually gives advantage to me instead of them. So I just kind of deploy like this, I guess. And the Ashbon will fire, and these guys will, I suppose, move up towards the doorway. So if they want to escape their little death trap, and they can come into a Dreamer Swordsman surround. Yeah, it looks like they are going to try to escape, but we've already got them kind of surrounded. Yeah, they're going to try and get out. That's not going to work too well for them. So they are surrounded already. That's unfortunate. And you can just go and take them out, I guess. Both of these frontline units can charge. These guys go around the side, charge there. I don't see any reason why these guys can't charge as well, honestly. So just everyone surround them. That's probably their general's unit as well. They are actually doing some damage. I did not think they were going to kill anyone, honestly. But they managed to get at least 5 in this unit, and a couple in that unit as well. We now have a nice little fight going on here. I like that our army is actually uniform for once. Now these sneaky little guys, look at them. Sneaky little buggers. They are just walking through the wall. They're facing through the wall. What a great defensive design. No attacking army would ever expect the defenders to just walk through the wall and attack them from behind. This is military genius. Oh, but two can play at that. Now that we've discovered their trick, we'll walk through the wall and attack them from behind. These cavalry are actually pretty tough. Up in melee combat. They're starting to fall now, but they did do some damage. They survived quite a beating as well. They're tougher than I remember. I thought we'd faced these guys before, but maybe it was a different kind of cavalry that we were fighting earlier. They are being taken down one by one. And there we go. And I guess at this point, we just kind of chase them. Let's just chase them and kill everyone, and make sure that these guys are no longer firing, because we do not need friendly fire from them. That would be devastating. Oh, we're having a bit of a stir down here. I did ask that they surrender, but it doesn't look like they plan to. Fighting to the end. It's one choice that they could make. It's probably not a smart one. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see if this pays off for them. Somehow I doubt it. And their front line is dead. And their second line is dead. And their third line is dead, and they're running away. They should... Why don't you just run away earlier? What was the purpose of this? And same thing on this side, except these guys seem a little bit confused. Apparently they're facing a bigger threat in this direction than they were in this direction. Alright, my money is on this guy, right in the back. Right at the bottom of the screen above the highlighted unit. Alright, he's gonna come in. He goes in for the stab. Oh, it's a dodge. Oh, he deflects the blow. Oh, he's getting stabbed from the back, though. He's got a 2-on-1 going on. He kind of shield bashes. He's in a little bit of a close range for the spear. I'm not sure exactly if he knows how a spear is supposed to work. He's supposed to, you know, kind of back up, get a little bit of range, and kind of poke at people, not punch them. Yeah, he didn't know how the spear worked, and that didn't pay out for him in the end. Well, I think this is the last of the resistance, and there is the general. He was just hiding in the back, as they kind of tend to do. He does have cool armor, doesn't he? Now, stop turning around. I want to look at your armor. That's neat. I think it's ebony. And down he goes. Looks like that ebony was not quite good enough. In fact, it might not have helped him in the end. I'm pretty sure we just cut down his... Was it a guar? I think it's called a guar. Cut down his guar, and then the guar fell on him, and maybe crushed it beneath the weight of his own guar and his own ebony armor. And is that the last of them? Who's still alive? Okay, there we go. I was wondering what was going on there. No, clear victory, 20 men lost. That's unfortunate. 1 bar of experience. I think 20 men lost is worth 1 bar of experience. That unit actually performed pretty poorly, honestly. 10 casualties sustained, and they only inflicted 32. How many did they heal? Only 6 healed. I mean, I guess that's more than half, so it's okay. There we go, Narcissus Falls. That's our first actual expansion in a little while, I think. And how is this settlement looking for us? It's green. I think we just occupy it. These, priests are already working on converting the population, so it shouldn't take too long. And really, with the Oblivion Crisis, we might have to put our, like, super expansion dreams on hold. So yeah, just occupying that. And, of course, our relations worsen. Mean leader. He actually loses a little bit of dread for not murdering everyone in Narcissus. But we can plop down a Altar of Visions immediately. And actually, interesting. How can I retrain these guys? Apparently I can retrain them. I'm not sure why I can retrain them, since I don't have the option to actually train them in the main menu here. Maybe it's just armor or something. Anyway, this will be quite nice for curbing any kind of attack that might come from the west. And our second siege up here in the north. Fort Frostmouth, our first foray into Solstein. Northern Morrowind. They are led by an Imperial captain, but the unit name is literally just Rebels. This worries me a little bit. Is this going to crash the game? Well, either way, assuming that this is actually a unit, not a bug, they have an attack of 4 and a defense of 6, so they're just nothing at all. They're basically peasants. So they are going to hide behind walls, and they do have quite strong walls, and that's annoying. They're going to activate these towers over here, so that's no good. They have men all along this wall to activate all their towers. Oh, this is tough. I guess I just send up some sacrificial dreamers with a siege tower and let that do its work. And these guys, they can just run up there as quickly as they can and climb up onto those walls, I suppose. This is why I put the Dreamers on the siege equipment and not my more valuable units. And we have some corporate stalkers. And once these guys take all the major hits from the towers going up and get the initial rush off, if a little bit of more punch is needed, then I can get the stalkers up either the ladder or the tower, and we'll deal with that situation when it pops up. And I guess over here, I may as well just go for the gate. I know that's going to be tough with the towers, but oh well. And you can... where do I want you to go? Will going up here actually help anything? Probably not, so maybe I want to run them around to another side. Maybe I can just get them up here and keep them out of range of the tower as much as possible. Yeah, probably going to start taking hits from that tower about now. I'm surprised they haven't already. I hear the arrows. Oh, somebody behind them died. It's actually shooting at the big horde of people behind them instead of the people carrying the ladder themselves. Which I guess is kind of smart. This is an easier target. I wonder if I can spread them out. And if that would help. I can do that. Interesting. There we go. They actually managed to get the ladders to the walls this time. I am impressed. That's better than the last siege I tried. The siege tower, on the other hand, is having a few issues. There we go, I got it moving again. And this ladder is having issues as well. Let me just click on that again and hope it changes. Awesome. Siege tower actually made it to the walls. These guys are just running away. What are they doing? They're just completely fleeing the walls. As soon as we got to the top, they were gone. And this thing should be just about ready to go. Units are getting to the top here. Will it open? I'm just going to wait for it. Oh, nice. There it goes. That's always a fun effect. I prefer in later Total War games, though, like how you can load units up and then push it to the wall and then immediately just like the door drops and they all come out. That's a little bit more satisfying than pushing it there, waiting for everyone to climb to the top, and then having that happen. Still, though, it's nice. Alright, ladders actually made it to the walls here now. So I guess I'll just kind of command them to attack them, and then run down the walls like so. Now I'm just going to send my spare unit straight to the town square, because I know that's where they're going to retreat to if they ever run away. So if they do that, then I can cut them off and kill them before they regroup. Meanwhile, as you just saw, gate is down. Let's switch them back into close formation and have them attack. Yep, and they're already running away. Before they tend to just run away before the battle even starts, which is probably kind of smart, honestly. They were just standing there to keep the towers active. Meanwhile, these guys are doing something. Well, if they want to fight, I will fight them. Well, that's going to be one unit down. And if we hurry, maybe we can cut these guys off before they regroup at their main force. Oh, hurry! Hurry! Get there! Get there! Oh no, they beat us! Oh, we managed to catch them though. But we didn't manage to get in front of them, so they are going to manage to retreat once we make them rout. Meanwhile, here comes everyone else up the rear. Ooh, there's a little secret path. I'm just going to move them straight down that secret path and into a flanking maneuver. Okay, they've mostly been taken care of. Can I get around them to the side here? Just keep on walking. There we go. Now we got that surround off. And is there anywhere where they can actually get into the square? I guess they just have to attack from that direction, so that was completely pointless. And they can't actually use this road. This is inaccessible. And it looks so good. But now they just have to go all the way back around. We really could have used them too. So, duly noted, do not use this path. It's completely 100% useless. And where did they come from? Somebody else just kind of randomly decided to attack there. And he's going to call. There goes the captain. And that's probably going to be just about the end of them. Yep, there's the last one. Just kind of sacrificed a bunch of dreamers. 200 or so dreamers to take that castle. That's not too bad. I guess since this is actually green, I'm just going to occupy the settlement and hope for the best. Let's take a look and see whether I made a mistake. Ooh, alter visions. Yep, pop that up while I'm in the process of it. And I can actually retrain dreamers here. Wonderful. But I can't recruit them. There's all this retraining going on, but I can't actually recruit the things that I'm training. Yeah, the garrison is what's keeping this in line right now, but the unrest really isn't that bad. Our priest found the next town of Tirsk. That is a Skull village. Interesting. Skull warriors. Those will be fun. I wonder if our assassin can't do something. Sabotage. There's no buildings in Tirsk to sabotage at all. Okay, well, what happens if I send a diplomat? How much would I need to pay to bribe? 12,000. What do I have right now? Wealth. I could do that, but it's just a village. It doesn't even have walls. No, I don't really want to pay that for them. So I'm just going to attack it later. Well, since Vayner's back, might as well have another go at that Argonian rebel army. And he gets a trade increase. Wonderful. Now, we're still a little bit vulnerable to this army. You never know what it might do. So, I'm going to take this turn, and I'm going to see what happens. And hopefully it's not something awful. We are fairly close to one another, so it shouldn't be too bad either way. It looks like Dres are actually going to siege the Taldaic fortress here. They have an interesting force. Let's see what my defenses on this fortress are. We have... It's not actually showing. I think this is the army down here. We have a unit of Ashbon. That's going to be tough if we put them on the walls on the opponents. And a couple of veteran units there. I think we should be okay. If they do take it, they're going to take some heavy casualties in the process, and we'll be able to easily retake it coming back down. Alright, we're just going to deploy like so. Have the Ashbon on the walls here. Start picking them off as quickly as possible. These guys just are up on the walls to trigger the towers. Cavalry, of course, guarding the gate. And we got one extra unit just kind of in reserve. And that ram is already 75% damage. Oh, we got some strong defenses. Yeah, they're going to have a hard time taking this place, even with this superior force. And their ram is already destroyed. Now it's time for them to run away. They should have prepared a little bit more. So we just get some kind of freebie shots at their back as they go. Oh, they've decided to come back. Why have they decided to come back? This is just kind of a ridiculous kill zone. Those are ballista towers. Oh, they just got like dual impaled. I'm pretty sure they're stuck together now in death. Ballista towers are kind of matchmakers. Well, if they're not getting impaled, then they're blowing up. I do have some bowmen, so potentially they could take some pot shots at my ash spawn, and that would not be fun. But one of their bowman units is fleeing already. Those are archer militia. I guess I'll fire at them next. Oh, they have another ram. That's why they're not running away. Okay, well, then I guess we fire at them instead. That thing is already almost destroyed as well. Well, this is quite the aesthetic, at least. Just kind of parting the way. They're actually not parting the way, they're just phasing the ram through their own people, which is fine. Victory, there goes their other ram, and I guess we just continue the battle and let everyone die to... They're finally panicking. They really, really thought that second ram would work out. This is devastating to them. Oh, and down goes the general. Oh no! It was little Billy. He was here for his revenge, and it didn't work out again. Little did the dreamers know that somewhere beneath the wreckage of the ram, little Billy was only playing dead, waiting for his chance to rise again, like a phoenix from the ashes. You know, I gotta give it to the Dres. That was a well-planned out attack. Well done, guys. I'm impressed. They are actually going to attack Davin's Watch as well, it looks like. Candidate for adoption. Dagoth Vemin the Honorable. He is a serpent. +1 to battle surgery. What? Oh, the sign. Right, of course, the sign. He's born under the sign of the serpent, which means he gets +1 to health and +1 to battle surgery. Disloyal. That's unfortunate. But you know what? I'm going to need some generals for my expansion anyways, so I'm going to actually take him. Not to mention that I just lost that one general from Aldrune. We finished our next wave of recruitment all throughout the land to deal with this Oblivion Crisis. So, I'm quickly learning that it's pretty annoying having 3 frontline cities here, all to defend. If I can get down here and take Muthnar, that's going to improve my life dramatically, since it's going to draw all their attacks towards there. They probably won't jump through this territory to attack these ones, and if they do, well, I can just move this force out to intercept them. A little bit worryingly, this enemy force up here, Oblivion forces, just kind of disappeared. I guess Muthis is just kind of move nice and slowly up towards Proloris, and keep an eye out for where those stacks might be hiding, somewhere in the fog of war up here. Oh, and there they are. They have popped up. So they severely outnumber us, but I think we have the unit quality. They're probably going to attack us next turn, and we'll see at that point whether we can handle them or not. Muthis is about to be put to his ultimate test. Meanwhile, these forces have just done nothing. And they're just kind of giving us the opportunity to merge our forces here. I will take that gladly. Alright, so Dagoth Rallis which is actually a general, an extra general. That's one we just recruited in Vivek. I don't remember, I think I did that on camera probably last episode. I recruited this general down here. Well, he came in handy sooner than expected, because he's leading this army now. He's going to try and take out these forces, and if he manages it, then I think he's earned himself a spot as the new governor. Oh, wait, no, right, never mind. I was under the assumption that Aldrun had fallen. It actually hadn't. So he's just got a massive force now here, I guess. I guess he can just, like, take that force over here and start conquering or something after he takes care of that. That is, assuming that Muthus is successful. If Muthus is not successful in fighting these guys, then he may need to take this force after defeating them over here to help out. But again, I'm just assuming that he's going to be enough to take care of them. I'm pretty sure it's a safe bet. Like, this is a very solid force he's in command of. But that's going to be for next episode. A lot has happened today. We've been attacked by the hordes of Oblivion in multiple fronts. Aldrun, they tried to take it, but they forgot their siege equipment at home, so they had to retreat. And now they're just kind of hanging out at the beach, having a good day off or something. And then over here, Prolorus did actually fall, although the Dreamers fought valiantly. He only had 3 units of kind of infantrymen, plebeian Dreamers, and they managed to rout around the back of the attacking force and do some serious damage to their ballista units. It'll be interesting to see whether that ballista unit routed or not. They did have 2 units left, but the 2 units is not enough to handle a ballista. So I don't know how that's going to work. If they just, like, if a ballista unit only has, I keep saying ballista. What I mean to say is trebuchet. But trebuchet unit only has 2 units left. That's not enough to operate the trebuchet. Does the trebuchet unit actually arrive to the battlefield at all? And if it does, can it fire? Those are the questions to be asked coming up. Meanwhile, in the south, we've expanded into Narcissus here. However, they've taken advantage. Who is this? This is one of their generals, a family member, Omin Ratan. He saw that gap open up when, I keep forgetting my general's name is Milan. Yeah, when Milan went out here to take Narcissus, he saw that gap open up and he shot the gap straight to Davin's watch. He is now fighting. I think what I'm going to do is send these units straight over there to reinforce, but that, again, that's going to be for next turn. Then again, Davin's watch has stone walls, so it might be in our best interest to just fight that battle from within them. And to conclude the episode, we can't forget about our friend Mendros down here. He's got to keep scouring these territories for the Argonians. Will he find anyone? Well, he's found a road. This is a road to follow. So he's onto a lead. It should guide him to the Argonian settlement somewhere along this coast. But for tonight, Mendros takes a well-deserved rest, and so do we. See you next time.